Welcome to the internet. Please keep your arms and legs inside the narrative at all times. Today's program includes a woman discovering that words have meanings, a billionaire responding like a Marvel villain, and the ancient ritual of claiming out of context while staring directly into the camera that recorded you. If you're new here, don't worry. This happens every week. Somebody logs on, mistakes confidence for invincibility, threatens someone, then acts shocked when reality logs in too. So grab a drink, stretch your face, and prepare for another episode of Main Character Syndrome, Diaspora Edition. Now let's really talk. Because if this were just one woman having a bad internet day, we wouldn't still be here. What we're watching is a pattern, and patterns don't come from nowhere. Every community has a loud minority. The internet hands them a megaphone and calls it representation. In parts of the Somali-American online space, there is a very visible subculture that has learned something dangerous. That outrage plus identity equals insulation. Not wisdom, not clarity, insulation. You can say reckless things as long as you wrap them in grievance language afterwards. That's the playbook.
Say like this is fake. I'm like, actually, well, let's look at.
kan muxuu haystaa lacag bis u haystaa baduu fool xumiyey iska fool xumiyey kan waa duq uu dhiman rabaa. I wouldn't worry too much about this one. That albaabkiisa jooga. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He about to die.
Let's stop pretending this was a misunderstanding. This was delusion colliding with reality at high speed. Today's story is about a woman who mistook the internet for a fantasy land, mistook confidence for immunity, and mistook out of context for a legal defense. And yes, the target of her little performance was Elon Musk. But make no mistake, this isn't about him. This is about entitlement dressed up as internet courage. The first video, Main Character Syndrome, episode 900. The first video is not subtle. It's not reflective. It's not confused. It's bold, loud, performative. She's speaking mostly in Somali, animated, comfortable, feeding off the camera. Then she switches to English. Because when you want the internet to hear you, you switch languages. And she says plainly, I wouldn't worry too much about him. He's about to die. Not he'll be irrelevant. Not his influence will fade. Not karma will get him. No, die. A sentence that does not require a PhD in linguistics to interpret. This wasn't coded speech. This wasn't ancestral metaphor. This wasn't misunderstood poetry. This was someone so drunk on online attention, they forgot that words still mean things. Reality taps the glass. The clip sprints, because of course it does. And then Elon Musk responds with 2 words that detonate the situation. Then it is war. Now, pause. You don't get to threaten someone publicly and then act shocked when they don't laugh it off. You don't poke a billionaire with global reach and then cry when the spotlight turns around. This is the moment reality enters the room, and your vibes are no longer in charge.
If you told me a week ago that my name and Elon Musk's name are being voiced in the same breath, I wouldn't believe you. But here I am today. Hello, if you know who I am, then you know why this video has to be made. On December 31st, 2025, my life took a tragic turn. I was badly misinterpreted and misheard on a now viral clip. In this clip, my words and what they are being translated to has been taken greatly out of context. I want to make myself clear. I never intended or even aimed to threaten the life of Elon Musk. I'm not a person that carries around hate. The media and Elon have taken my words completely out of context, and it's been deeply hurtful to watch how that's turned into me being dehumanized and painted as a villain. For context, the clip going viral was taken from a longer live segment and edited in a way that removes the heart of what I was trying to say. During that stream, some of my supporters asked me about my thoughts on Elon Musk in relation to his health after viral photos of him in swim shorts surfaced. My intention was to never mock, insult, or be cruel in any way. What I was trying to express came from my personal experience. As a person gets older, health becomes more important, and it is something we should all be taking seriously and treat with care. My message was meant to encourage kindness towards our bodies and towards one another if we want to live a long, luxurious life. Instead, that message was twisted, stripped of its context, and turned into something it was never meant to be. A few people went ahead and asked Elon's AI Grok what it thought about my language in the video. I would display the response here. As you can see, Grok agrees. This is more interpreted as dismissive rather than a literal threat. Elon Musk tweeted the same viral video twice. I assume the first time didn't get the reaction he wanted, both hours apart. One where he said, and I quote, "wonderful people," and the most recent time that is currently still pinned at the top of his profile stating, and I quote, "then it is war." While Somali hate is at an all-time high right now, Elon is a very powerful man and has endless amount of supporters. This will forever be a losing match for me. Elon Musk is coming at me with full force, but I don't remember when I signed up to be an scapegoat, but okay. This tweet has caused me great discomfort. My intentions were to never make Elon Musk uncomfortable or feel unsafe in any way. I don't know how a billionaire can be scared of a little girl who doesn't have half the power, but go off, King. My words have been villainized and my voice has been stolen. Me and Elon Musk's lives are worlds apart. I do not have nearly the same amount of resources he is fortunate enough to have. This whole situation has put me in truly great danger. Private information about me is being displayed all over the internet, and I have received endless amount of threats over this miscommunication, and I truly am in fear for my future. But what a beautiful way to start off the year.
The backpedal. Whoa, sudden discovery of consequences? Cue the follow-up video. Different tone, different posture, different personality entirely. Now she's scared. Now she's misunderstood. Now it's out of context. Suddenly, the woman who is fearless on camera can barely muster the same energy at the lens. Because now she realizes something crucial. The internet isn't your group chat. And not everyone has to play along with your delusions. Here's the problem, though. You don't get to rewrite reality after the fact. You don't get to threaten someone and then retroactively declare symbolism. That's not how language works. That's not how accountability works. That's not how adulthood works. Entitlement exposed. This is the real issue. The belief that you can say anything as long as you cry convincingly enough afterwards. The belief that outrage is performance art, but consequences are oppression. The belief that the world must accommodate your mouth instead of you managing it. This isn't bravery. This isn't resistance. This is entitlement with Wi-Fi. Entitlement, diaspora vibes, and the permanent victim loop. Let's zoom out, because this wasn't just one woman losing the plot on camera. She's a symptom, not the disease. There's a very specific entitlement strain that has taken root in parts of the Somali-American online space. Not all, not most, but loud enough to dominate the feed. It looks like this: absolute confidence, zero self-restraint, and the deep, unshakable belief that accountability is something other people face. You see it in the posture, the tone, the way consequences are treated as personal attacks rather than natural outcomes. The logic goes, if I speak, I'm brave. If you respond, you're oppressive. If I'm criticized, I'm being targeted. If I cry, the conversation is over. That's not activism, that's theater. The diaspora distortion problem. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Some diaspora communities, especially in the US, grow up completely disconnected from consequence culture. You inherit the language of struggle without living the material conditions that produced it. So oppression becomes a vibe, not a reality. And victimhood becomes a currency, not a condition. That's how you end up with people who have full access to platforms, full legal protections, full freedom of speech. Acting like being challenged is violence. It's not. It's friction. Confidence without competence. What you're really seeing is confidence unmoored from competence. Speaking loudly is mistaken for being correct. Speaking emotionally is mistaken for being moral. Speaking recklessly is mistaken for being fearless. And the internet rewards this until it doesn't. Because the real world doesn't care how justified you felt. It only cares what you actually did. The victim narrative on demand. Notice how fast the switch flipped from bold, almost gleeful provocation to trembling fear and pleas for mercy. That's not growth. That's panic. The victim narrative isn't emerging organically here. It's being deployed like a fire extinguisher for responsibility. And this tactic is so overused that it's predictable. Step 1, say something wild. Step 2, get attention. Step 3, hit resistance. Step 4, claim misunderstanding. Step 5, reframe yourself as endangered. Rinse, repeat. Why this backfires on the community itself. Here's the irony nobody wants to talk about. This behavior doesn't protect Somali communities. It embarrasses them. It turns real issues into punchlines. It trains outsiders to dismiss legitimate concerns as melodrama. It hands ammunition to people who already want to stereotype. When every disagreement is treated like persecution, actual persecution stops being taken seriously. That's not empowerment. That's self-sabotage. You are not entitled to a safe reception. Here's the cold truth. You are not entitled to applause. You are not entitled to protection from backlash. You are not entitled to reinterpret your words after release. Freedom of speech does not include freedom from response, especially when you speak recklessly and then expect the world to cradle you for it. Nothing about this was misunderstood. The words were clear. The response was predictable. The backpedal was transparent. This wasn't culture. This wasn't nuance. This wasn't resistance. This was entitlement colliding with reality and trying to cry its way out of the impact. And the lesson remains brutally simple. If you're grown enough to speak with your chest, you better be grown enough to stand on it when the echo comes back. Not right, not left, just real.